What's up, my people? I be Douglas here. Welcome to another beautiful Saturday. Yeah, so today we are going to be doing something quite interesting and a little bit of, a little twist. Yeah. I'm sure you guys actually already see a different interface than the usual. So in this series, I'm going to be doing from today, I'm going to be doing a poster breakdown series on CorelDraw. Yes, it's time to appease the CorelDraw users. By the way, if you are new to this channel, you are highly welcome. Do well to hit that subscribe button and turn on the post notifications so you can be among the first people to be updated when a new video drops. And if you are yet to watch my previous poster breakdown videos, just click the link in the description below, or you should see a pop-up notification on the screen where you could access it. All right, so without wasting much time, let's get straight to it. So this is going to be different, so I need you guys to flow with me. Yeah, so I'm going to be, I know for Photoshop, I would be, removing all my layers. But for CorelDRAW, I'm just going to be ungrouping everything here. Just need to make sure, okay, I power clipped most of these things. So yes, I can freely use power clip in this series. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to ungroup this. First and foremost, I just inverted this. So what I'm going to do is I will just move this over here and bring a duplicate of this. Let me turn on my keyways. Okay, we're on. I've ungrouped this. So what actually inspired me to do this was I don't have any particular poster per se. When the brief was given to me, and I saw, okay, it's like a business masterclass for young people, SMEs, right? And it's targeted to young people from ages 20 up to 40. And I'm like, so how can I do something that will easily attract young people? I didn't want to do something that's just there, too expected. Okay, um, when we're talking about business, in the modern age, what gadgets do we use for business, right? I know we use our smartphones, we use our laptops, we use tablets. I was like, okay, for me to be able to put this topic, a smartphone will be too small, laptop will be too common. So why not use a tablet? And that is actually why I used a tablet in this design. Just gonna remove everything here. Some of these things are already power clipped. So I'm just gonna bring out everything here. It's gonna look a bit messy. So let's just move these guys here. This I need to remove this frame X frame type. Come here, go to remove frame. So the reason why I'm doing that, whenever you power clip or remove a power clipped object from your canvas, right? Courage always shows this frame type. So if I leave it like this, anything or I drag into this place automatically, it will just go inside. So because I don't want that, that's why I have to just right click, go to frame type, and I will remove my frame so that I won't be distracted. So you basically not see anything here. I'm just bringing out everything. Just bringing out everything to make sure that we are good to go. First and foremost, I started with the, before I put the church logo and all that, I started with the illustration. CorelDRAW, instead of you going to the layers, you could easily just pick up your elements from your workspace and just put it here. So U40 capacity building unit presents, right? This is my tablet. The elements that I used on this poster will be uploaded on the resources folder. It's a Google Drive. So also check the description below to access the elements that I used on this poster. So I just bring it, okay. This was something I did here. Let's just bring the tablet. So this tablet, I downloaded this tablet. I think I downloaded it from Pinterest, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah. So I didn't want to leave it like this. What actually prompted me to use the blue and yellow was because we're talking about business. So when you hear the word business, it's a serious thing. Business masterclass, intensive business masterclass. So it's a serious thing. So there's no other better color to use than blue. And that's why I had to use like a gradient blue color and yellow to complement the blue color. So yellow is a very good complementary color to blue. And yeah, so that's why I used the color. In case you might be asking that in the comments. So I guess I've answered that question. So when I brought it here, I had to like trace out this particular stuff here. I had to trace this out. I was able to create this from this tablet. Very simple. So what I did here was to just use my rectangle to trace out this particular part of the image, right, or the tablet. So click on my rectangle tool. My rectangle tool is, this is my rectangle tool here, F6. And just come from this image, from the section here, cross it. I'm going to zoom this a bit, zoom this out. Click on my shape tool. I'm going to curve, make this edges curved. Now I'm going to properly fit it in here just to make sure that it properly aligns with what I have on the tablet. You don't want to do something off because we're trying to trace. So I'm just going to do this one here. So it means I need to work on that. So I'm still going to increase this a little bit, scroll up. Yeah, they have this. Cool. They have this. And then I'm also now going to duplicate this image. So I could do Control C, or Control V. I could just press Control D to duplicate. And I want to create this section here. So just gonna bring it here and just get this away. Try to reduce it and bring this here. So this is actually going to prompt me to use to increase my round corners. So I'm gonna do this now. Don't worry, I'm going to show you guys how I'm going to trim this off. So click on my shape tool, click this, hold my shift key, click this, and then we reduce the corners so you could see how I'm actually forming this shape. Yeah, so this is like my way of tracing this. And so if we click this, if we shift it out, you see that I have created, or like more or less like traced out this stuff, right? And so how do we now trim? We're going to trim this off. So this shape, I'll select my small shape, select this one here. It's already selected because this is what is in front. And then I'll go to this section here. There are shortcuts for it, right? So I'll just go to trim. And you will see that automatically, you see this part has come out. Yeah, so still have my tablet. Then this shape here that I use in trimming, I'll just delete it. And this one, I'll just bring it back here. So yeah, this was how I was able to do this. So I just adjusted it, and also that's what I did. And then I added a fill to this. So I'm just going to pick off this color. Let me just add black first. And then if let me pick out the same color that I used. I have so many shortcuts. I customized my CorelDraw in such a way that it's going to be easy for me to execute right? I didn't just use the normal Control S and all that, change something. So if you want to know how to easily customize your CorelDraw workspace, customize your shortcuts and all that, there's so many tutorials on YouTube for that. But if you would also want me to do something special on that, a special tutorial, do well to drop it in the comments section. So I'm going to just pick the color from I have here. I have a shortcut for that. So I'll just go to fill, click OK, and pick this. So this is the exact color that I used. My listing is not properly aligned, so I need to just make sure I do this. And let me remove my outline. The outline is not needed anymore. Yeah, the outline is not needed. I need to just make some pretty adjustments. I think we're good to go. I know I can see some things that are not really properly aligning. Sorry. I'm just going to shift this just a little bit. Shift it back again. Yep. I guess we are good. I need to check this area. Okay, just go up, go here, go here. So we still have this place. So I'm just going to click on my shape tool. That should be F10. Sorry, I'm using a shortcut on my keyboard. So I'm just going to select this area, bring it closer. We'll still bring it closer again. Yep. Click on Shift F4 for my full screen, and yeah, we are done. So that's how I was able to do this. This is actually a gradient. If you click normally for CorelDraw, if you want to activate your gradient tool, it's usually G, right? But I changed my shortcut. Normally in CorelDraw, Control G is to group, but in my own Control G is to activate my gradient. And if I want to actually group something, here I'll just see here, and G is for group, U is for group. So that's how I customize it. So this pattern, just remove this pattern here. This pattern, I used a different overlay. If I click on my transparency tool, I used overlay 96. Don't worry, this pattern is going to be there. That's the blend mode. This is what we call like blend mode for CorelDraw. So just copy, Ctrl C, Ctrl V. Just bring it here, bring it here. For those that want to know how we power clip, in Photoshop we call it clipping mask, but for CorelDraw we call it power clip. So I'm just going to right click on this and you see power clip inside. It brings out this arrow here and power clip it into the shape. So I want to select that particular pattern so it could cover it. So I'll just hold my alternate key and click inside, and then I just press P. Pressing P will just take it to the center of the shape, but for me, I just want to make sure I arrange it properly inside here. So yeah, I'm done. Okay, so you could see this is actually coming to life. And the next thing I did was, before I started going to all these places, I just put my text here. So I'm going to show you guys what I used and the fonts that we used. So let's just bring it here so we could break it down. Why you're not seeing it here is because it's at the back of the tablet. So usually you could start right clicking here and you could start going to order to bring back to front, but there is, as you can see, there are actually shortcuts to do that. So I'm not going to start, just going to click here. I'm not going to start right clicking. I have shortcuts for that. So my shift function and page up, page up. I have to bring it up. Good. So yeah, page up. So I'm going to ungroup this. This is the font I used for this. I'm going to ungroup this. Gaston Villa. I used Gaston Villa. That is the font. It will be uploaded on the resources. That's for this. Now you might ask, why didn't I use Gaston Villa for number 3? It's because it looked weird when I used that same font for number 3. So let me show you guys. Let's use text properties. And if we go back to it, let's go back to this. So this is how the number 3 of Gaston Villa is. It's not looking very nice. No, it's not looking very nice. This is it. I didn't like the way it was looking. Yeah, I didn't like the way it was looking. Even if I had removed the weight that I added, the outline weight, I didn't like the way it was looking. So I was like, okay, let me use an alternative. And that can actually still send, create contrast. Since 3 months, I wanted the 3 to actually to stand out. That's another reason, aside from it not being a good font choice, right? I could have used Charlie's all over. I could have used Charlie's all over, but I wanted also the 3 to stand out. Yeah. So when I was choosing, this time. So yeah, that's it. The font that I use here, let me ungroup this because I grouped it well. So the font I used here was Hansen. Same font I used here too was Hansen, but I did customized the E. Now, this is how I arrived at the E, and this is why I did this E, because we're talking about business. So, for many of us here who are, aside from business, for those who study charts, right? Everybody here has come across charts before. So you could see charts where you could see progress of each value and all that. So that's the reason why I did that, because it's a business, I just wanted something that would spark up interest, right? Normally, I would have used E, but I was like, it's not going to make sense. So since I'd already highlighted business here, right, I wanted something that would still, talk about business in an illustrative way. Since I didn't have any image, this is like my illustration, my tablet, So I said, why not? Let's play with the letter E. So what I just did was simple. Let's ungroup this. To ungroup an entire font into its singular font is Control K. So I'll just bring out this one here. I'm not so sorry. Just bring out this one here, and I rotated it to 90 degrees. Yep. And if you want to customize any font on CorelDraw, you need to convert it to object, right? You need to convert it to an object. So normally you come here and you see convert to object or convert to curves. Convert to curves is actually the better option. And like I said, there are shortcuts to this. So yeah, I'll just Control Q. I have converted to curves, and I click on my shape tool. So I'll just click on my shape tool, bring this one down. So you could actually see how I just did this stuff. So it now looks like a chart stuff, and I just carried it here and put it here. So if somebody looks at it, you can still tell it's business, but that twist can just spark up interest. So it was intentional. That's why I did that. So that is it for the E. So masterclass for SME. So I also needed to emphasize who the masterclass is for. So SME, small, medium enterprises, that's what it means. So just the SMEs. For use the same font for, let me just group it here. I use the same font, Custom Villa. Yeah, it was this Custom Villa I used here. I don't want to start, can't use, man, many use that no content one kind. So I had to use the same font just to maintain that visual consistency. So that is it. Next thing, I needed to add a shadow. I had to add a shadow. I'm going to shift this place. Shift this. Where is my shadow? Yeah, I needed to add a shadow. So it looks like the tablet is not floating. So that was the essence of adding a shadow. I think I'm look see it's not floating. So normally, like in Photoshop, you come to our layer panel. There's actually a layer panel on CorelDraw, but that's stressful. It's not as simple as it's simple, sha, but the way I learned CorelDraw, I didn't start with panel. I was just dragging and dropping and dragging and dropping. I think that was what I found easy with CorelDraw before I even moved to Photoshop. Photoshop is like 2 years now. I mean 2 years full Photoshop user. Yeah. So my shadow is here. I think my shadow is already be at the back of the tablet, so there's no need. I'm just gonna make sure. By the way, I'm grouping everything. So just to make sure that everything is on point, I'm just going to group this area so I won't have issues. Just going to hold my shift key, click on my page, press C for center. Okay, so now I've seen that I have not grouped something properly. Okay, I haven't grouped, so my tablet is still here. So you know how that this tablet can actually cause issues if you're just moving it around. So that's why once I'm done with this, right, I just group everything. Sometimes I lock that particular side so that it won't distract me. Yeah, I lock it for I'm not going to lock it now because I'm still going to make use of that area. So this is it. Just going to hold this, click this. Let's bring my shadow down a bit. So yeah, done. Next thing I did was to add my pen. So I downloaded this pen. I mean, if you want to use your tablet effectively, you need a stylus, or you can call it a pen. So just going to make sure that this is aligned to the center. I brought it down. I also added a shadow too with this pen. Yeah, I already grouped it with the shadow. I grouped the shadow with the pen. Um, for those who don't know how to create shadow, it's a very, very simple thing. So just click on your ellipse tool and you draw here. Yeah, fill it up, remove the outline. And if you want to create that, you just go to your Gaussian block. I would have just gone straight to the shortcut. My shortcut is alternate G, but I will come to effects here, come to blur, you see Gaussian blur here, and you see that it's giving you that shadowy look. But be careful so that you won't do something that is not looking very fine. Okay, so I'll just do it here and then I go to my transparency tool, which is my alternate T. Click here to reduce the transparency so that it doesn't look too sharp and kind of makes it look dirty. Depending on how where you want to use the shadow or how you want it to be, right? So that's how to create your shadow. So I've done that. And next thing I needed to do was now to create this. So I wanted to give you this kind of three-dimensional feel, right? That's why if you see the original design here, let's just go to this and zoom here. So you could see how if you look at this, it looks like the tablet is like sitting on a plane, like on a table, that kind of thing. So that's why I gave it this look and it now brought it to this. So it looks like a tablet sitting on a table and then comes down. So that was the vibe I was giving to that particular design. So how did I achieve that? Very simple. Just draw your rectangle here, right? Just want to draw my rectangle. Do this, do this. I'm going to pick that color again. So I think we have already have, sorry, we're going to this pattern, don't worry. Let me just delete it to add it back later because I want to pick this field. All right, so this is a shortcut actually did because I always like copying properties, so I'll not start having issues. But copying properties, I think it should be around. It should be around edit something. So I'm just going to do field because it's the field I want to copy, and this is where I want to copy from. So that's why I'm coming here, and you see that here. So this is how you do it. So you need to make sure that what you actually want to change must be selected, right? And then when you go to that your option and you select field because that's a property I want to copy, you come to that place you want to copy the property from. You just click on it. That arrow shows and you've copied that. Copy properties from, like I said, we should see it here. This is it. From your edit, Control Alternate Shift C. So that's the shortcut. And that's what I did. And then I now added this stuff here. Don't worry, guys. You guys are going to see what I'm going to do. I still no need. I'm just going to duplicate this rectangle. Bring it down a bit. Remove the fill. Make it a white fill, a white outline. I'm going to give it this yellow color. It's going to be here. Let me just help myself. This is the color. Okay, FA blah blah blah, FA 240. I believe it should be this color. So I'm just going to do this here. I will just right click and have this. So what I want to create now is this particular section, right? I'm creating this section here, creating this section. So I'm going to increase my fill, come here, increase this a little bit. But before I did that, these boxes, these are actually like boxes. So what I just did, come to this place here. Normally on CorelDraw, if you just click and drag this, it can give you any kind of shape or size of rectangle. But if you want a perfect square, you need to hold your shift key. So I held my shift key to create, oh, not shift, sorry, your control key, your control key. Your control key gives you a perfect square. So I'm going to fill this, remove the outline here. I'm just going to put it here. Let's zoom this a little bit. Zoom, 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 zoom. Okay. I'm going to make sure that this is me using my eyes. This is me using my eyes just to make sure that this is at. Yeah, it's a little bit. I just want to make sure it's at the center. Good. So this is it. Oh, zooming out too much. Sorry. Okay, so just want to Control C, Control V, putting it here. I just want to make sure that this part is good to go. I don't have issues. We are good to go. So I will group these two guys together, hold my shift to select both of them, use my G to group. Default shortcut for grouping is Control G. But like I said, I changed mine. So Control V, Control V. I'm using a touchpad. So if not, I would have just done my normal mouse, right click and drag, the duplicate comes in. So I just did that to duplicate, so I won't have to start recreating this for the bottom section. So I'm just going to do this. And yeah, that's how we created that section. So just going to group this together and just make sure it's at the center. So the next thing I did was to add my text. Yeah, so same font I used here, which is the Hansen, I believe. Just gonna group this, remove this guy, and I don't want to waste so much time. Oh, I don't have it already here. Oh, so I'm going to type this thing. So let's type. But, well, I need to type it because I need to show you guys what I did. I wish I duplicated this. So learn how to build your business from seasoned resource persons, okay, and business business leaders. So I'm going to shift here, Control E, that's for center. Bring it here. So you can see that this guy, see the way I arrange it. So I'm just going to reduce this guy a bit, holding my shift key, and I'm reducing. Okay, so this is it. So I know you're going to ask me, oh yeah, now let's do this thing, let's do this thing. Relax, no fear. So, so I'm done. I'm just going to group this. I know you might be asking me some questions, but don't worry, we are there. We're almost there. Okay, this guy, I'm going to adjust this my shape because I want to do that. This is like a perspective kind of thing. So I'm going to adjust these guys. I'm going to bring this guy inside a bit. I'm going to adjust this guy so that it doesn't affect what I'm doing. Let's bring this guy inside. So I guess it's time for us to do what we need to do. So I'm going to power clip this guy inside here. Let's group it first. Right click, power clip it inside here, so you can see I am moving my shape with this, and I'm just going to take it up here. I need to first of all make sure it's at the center of my canvas here before I do anything. So I'm going to take it up here, and then the next thing I will just do is, I think it should be in my object panel if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, perspective. Yeah, so this is it. This is it. So you could see how I'm trying to arrange this. Okay. So something is happening, right? This is working, but this other one is not working. So that means I need to convert that, because it's this text and shapes, they are not images. So you cannot easily create a perspective to with them. Unlike this is very easy. These shapes actually, it's very easy. As far as you've power clipped something into an object, you can easily create a perspective or adjust your perspective to, or use your perspective to. But because this one inside here are not in quotes, images or bitmaps, if you want to call that, I'm just going to Control C, Control V and keep this guy right there. Sorry, workspace on CorelDraw can be very, very dirty. My CorelDraw guys can relate. So I'm going to convert this to a bitmap. Just going to come here. It's not going to show. So let me click inside here. Let's go inside this young man. Yeah. So we'll not be seeing the text because it's, so this is already grouped. Convert to bitmap. I don't need any too much distance, so I'll just do 90. Let's just put it on 150. So 150 is here. Come out. You just click outside to come out of your bitmap. So this is an image, but you can see how blurry it is. It's not really that sharp. So it's even best to use a quality bitmap. So because we're converting this to image, it has to be good. Let's use 300. Yeah, use 300. Come out. Yeah, quality still maintained. All right, so let's use our perspective tool. I'm in objects. I come to perspective. I believe this should be making the change. It's still not making change. Come on. Then that means I'll have to like do the perspective for this one separately as well. Oh, I'm guessing that is what I did. Okay. So let me just bring this out. Remove my time frame or my frame type. And I click this, zoom this a bit, move this here, move this here. So the same way I'm applying this stuff, right? This is the same thing, sorry. The same way I'm applying this is the same thing I'm going to do for this. So just put this. I'm bringing it up. I want to make it look like a plane. So that is why I'm doing what I'm doing now. Yeah, so I just need to make sure that this is properly done. So it's going to be moved at the back of the tablet. So that's why you might just be seeing some things. It's not nicely done. It's not nicely done, but you shall get the gist. So this one, I also need to do the same thing here. Let's go to my power clip and I'm going to bring this out more. It really doesn't matter because I'm still going to use a shape to cover it. But yeah, for this, let's do the same thing. Since this is now an image, I'm going to add my perspective, but first and foremost, I have to bring it inside here. Let's bring it inside. And let us also be sure. First and foremost, I think we can power click this guy. No need, no need, no need. Sorry, no vex, no vex, no vex. So let me just select this and select this. Yep, wrong. So by the way, there's actually a shape here, if you guys don't know. For me to make sure that I can power clip anything that I'm doing, there is actually a shape here, like to create your canvas. Normally your canvas is white and there's nothing on it. But if you want to be putting things, like when you start power clipping all these things into, you need to power clip all these elements into the design itself, right? You have to create this to suit the same page, just the exact page, and color it white. That's like your background. So how do you do that? For CorelDraw, it's very simple. So just come here and double click. When you double click on this your square, it automatically takes the shape of that your page size, right? And it is transparent by default. So you see it here, it's transparent. This is your fill, this is your outline. It's showing a black outline, but no fill. So any color you give it here, that's what you're going to see here, right? And any color you add newly, it automatically adds to this your swatch, your color document panel, that kind of thing. So I'm using white. I usually don't put any outline. So I just double click or right click on this to remove it. So you can see now there is nothing here on the outline color, but the fill is white. So that is how to create that. Sorry, I should have done that first before I started my design, but yeah, my bad. So, where is that young man? So let's bring this guy here. By the way, if you are loving this tutorial, do well to hit that subscribe button and share for someone so they can catch up, and drop in the comment section below what you think about this video so far. So go straight to perspective, and I'm going to do the same thing. So I'm just going to bring this down, bring this down. I'm going to take this up. I'm going to take this up. This is, yep. Yeah, but I need to make this thing more visible, right? So that it doesn't look as, because people need to read this thing. People need to read it. So I don't want to make it look, you know, difficult to read. So yeah, so this is it. You might need to increase the size of this big man. Might need to increase the size of it and bring it down, and then click your space bar. Space bar takes me to the previous tool that I use, because I use the perspective tool. If I click on my space bar, it goes back to the tool. Because I use the perspective tool, once I click on it, it takes me back to the perspective tool. So I'm just trying to arrange this. Yeah, or we can make it longer. Let's make it longer so it will be visible in the eyes. So you can see how this is actually coming out. Just going to increase this a bit. You can actually read this thing. So, uh, so don't mind that how this thing is looking ugly. We're going to power clip this stuff. So let's just power clip so that we can see. Power clip it into this shape itself. Hold my alternate key to select this one inside, and then I will move. Okay, so it's a little bit not really good as it's supposed to be, but you shall get the gist. Just use your power clip, your perspective tool to arrange everything that you are arranging. So that was how I did that stuff, and we just group all these things together. Sorry, this is not looking very nice. I'm trying to not waste so much time with this tutorial. I'm going to power clip this inside. This big man here, I believe all these things are put together. Okay, I have not done my shadow. Okay, group. Let's go this guy. Group. We're going to power clip this one inside. You could see how this is already at the back, but sometimes you might see it at the front. So just hold your control page up, it takes you to the front, page down, it takes you to the back. Okay, sorry, this is really not looking so nice, but bear with me because of time. Yeah, we're doing something. We're arriving at this young man. This is actually a circle. That was like something I just did to make that background interesting. So this is like you just draw your ellipse to the outline is circle. The outline is zero. Sorry, there is no fill. So let's just take this to the center. Press my P. I will bring it down here. Yeah, just bring it down here and then I will power clip. Please mind where you're power clipping. Make sure you're power clipping into the actual like canvas, the page canvas itself. Don't power clip into this, not to enter into this one. So just going to do this. And now we need to move this at the back. So it's very easy. You can easily just hold your control. If you want to open anything with power clips, just open your control. It takes you to this place. So you see everything that's been power clipped into all the entire workspace. And then you can just hold your control, select that option, that object or shape, whatever it is, and hold your control page and you just move it to the back, page up, page down. So you see I'm moving it to the back. I could have as well not need to open this place. If you don't need to open this, right? I just showed you guys for those who might want to do it. I could just simply stay outside of my canvas here and hold my alternate key to select everything that I've power clicked inside. Do you understand? Don't worry, we're going to do this for that, guys. What is showing here? My CorelDraw. Okay, so this is like a background-ish pattern I brought into my background. I didn't want my background to be clean, so I added this pattern. So I'm just going to power clip it inside, and you see where it is. Because I power clipped, it's not going to automatically take me to the. It's not going to adjust it for me. So this is where it is. So like I said, we keep opening this by using your control key. Use your alternate and just click on this particular option. Select that element and then click my P. P is to bring anything or any object to the page, like to the middle of the page. So it is there, but this is also going to affect every other thing. So I need to move this pattern to the back. So how do I do that? Same thing, as it's still selected, I just hold my control and page down. You will see, yeah, if you can see, you could actually see, let's zoom this thing so we can see what is happening. So you could see it already here. So once I just hold my control page down, see it has come back to the back of the tile, but it's still here. Page down, see it has gone to the back of this, but it's still here. So we're going to leave it like this, and we are done. Okay, so this one here is just still the same thing, just a rectangle. I just brought it here. So like I said, I wanted to make it look like a table, kind of, and just did it here. Make sure it's aligned to this center, and yeah, I added a little drop shadow to it. This is actually like a drop shadow I added, so to give it, make it look a little bit more realistic. So power clip. Oh God, I hope my hard drive didn't disconnect. God, I beg. Okay, so this, I'm just gonna bring this up here. God, I beg. Oh, sorry guys. So I think my external SSD disconnected by mistake. So, yep, this, let's bring this down. Don't worry to come up. This file will be saved later. So I try to, oh God. So I try to make sure that it's at the edge of these areas, right? And that was what even actually helped me to properly adjust this so it doesn't look not too visible. So we're going to work on this. We're going to work on this. Let's just going to do this. We're going to reduce this a little bit. Let's take it up, take it up, take it up. I'm going to still reduce this a little bit. Take it up. We could as well still hit perspective. Can we use it here? We might not be able to use it here. Well, work on this. So you could see how my listings actually come into shape, right? This pattern stuff. I know I didn't explain about this. Let me just copy it and paste it. So I think I downloaded this business pattern stuff from Free Peak. Yeah, I think if I'm not mistaken. Yes, and I'm doing it from Free Peak. It's a vector-based background. Yeah, EPS, and you can open EPS with CorelDraw. Encapsulated PostScript. That's what the EPS means. They're actually editable vector files. So you can edit it with CorelDraw or Illustrator. If you're not a CorelDraw user, if you're an Illustrator user, you can also open EPS files aside from AI files or CDR files. Okay, so that's where I got this pattern to be uploaded on this thing. So that was the same thing I used for this top here. It's the same thing. So yeah, that's also what I did. So then also my details for this. I'm gonna take this up. So I just added my details. This one now, I'm not going to waste so much time on this. Just going to copy and paste. Just going to move it here and arrange it. Yeah, let me just arrange it here for you guys. So these are the details of the design. Yeah, so I've arranged it. This is not hard. All these things you can it's just playing with your shapes. So this is just a rectangle in its outline. Let's ungroup this. It's just a rectangle in its outline. Yeah, this is a rectangle with fill without outline. Still the same yellow. Fonts I used here, Hansen. I used Gilman here just to create to create a contrast of fonts because I needed them to also take note of the date. So I didn't want to use the same font. So that's why I used Gilman. That was also what I used for the two. That's like a rectangle in between the date, duration, 24th March and this. And I still use that same Gilman font for the address. So it's not like I see use it for the date, for the days. I also use it for the address. Conference room, abundance hall, same font and same for emphasis. So that's why it's called bold. And then this guy here, same thing. If we ungroup this, I think this is the same font I used here. Same hand saying this one here is actually give myself this grouped because I have to group it with this link. This is give. So you could see basically, if you want to look at the entire design, I used one, two, three. I believe I used four fonts. Oh, my laptop is getting low. I need to plug this. I need to plug this, guys. I need to plug this. But before this closes, we're going to be pretty quick. So this font, I just brought this here, and my charger is not here. This font is Orthographia. What I used in writing this is business. Okay, so I'm just going to bring it here, and yeah, just need this power clip. First of all, it's in white, so I just use overlay 60% so that it will also still show here. Yep. So just power clip that inside, and I guess we are actually done with this design. Yep. So just gonna do this. The same thing what I did here. I know I've not saved this one. Let me just be saving it. I know I've not saved the work. So I'm just hitting my S. I use S. So I switched it from Control S to S. Yo, okay, this laptop is going to go off anytime soon. I just hope I'm gonna be finishing this. Sorry guys. Yeah, so same thing here, power clip, and this is just it. So this is basically everything about the design. If you wanted to know how to create this shape, it's not hard. It's just your rectangle. Create your rectangle, give it a fill, and then yeah, it's just an outline rectangle, right? Let's just do this thing sharply. This is gonna go off a bit. Okay, so just create your rectangle here and you can now duplicate this to a full rectangle, right? And come here. All right, so we are back. Sorry, I had to plug my system. It actually died. Yeah, thank God it hibernated as it shut down. So back to what we were trying to do here. I was trying to show you guys how I achieved this. So I was trying to cut this, but it wasn't working. So I'm going to do something as an alternative. So I think we're just going to fill this color, move the outline from here, show you guys what I did. I'm going to duplicate this, make this white. Okay. Gonna just reduce this size a little bit. I need to make sure that it's like if the same portion, proportion. Sorry. So just need to make sure that this and this is equal to this and this. So I'm just gonna increase this a little bit. Um, yep. Do this. Do this. Do this. Okay, so I think my trimming can come out. Now, this is why my trimming is going to work. I need to make sure that the shape is outside, like it's not completely inside here. It has to be like outside the box. If I trim it like this, it's going to show this kind of hole. It's going to give me like a hole in between, like a hollow this thing here. But that's not what I want. I want to achieve this. Yeah, so it has to be arranged like this. So I can still just bring it out more so you can see what I'm going to do. So I'm going to roll this, and then I will trim alternate control T. So I believe now this should come out well good. So this is how I did it. So just bring it here, and if you want to make adjustments to it, just um, hold your shape tool, just go to your shape tool here, right? I use F10, that's the shortcut for it, that's general shortcut, and just click and drag to select these nodes, and then hold your shift key and move it up. It's for you to reduce the height of this, however it is you want it. So yeah, that was what I did for that. And then cool. So we're basically almost done with this. So what is just remaining is to add the patterns. I'm guessing I've added this here. I know it's not the same way I arranged this, but you guys know what I mean. It's still the same thing. I just changed the color. Okay, so this pattern here, I believe this pattern, just want to hold my control, cut, bring it out. I'm going to delete the shape. The pattern is here. So I need to power clip this pattern into, I need to power clip this pattern into the shape. So let me just press my X, come inside here, bring it here. Uh, I'm going to duplicate this pattern because I need to also put it here too. So let me just Control C, Control V, or Control D, duplicating. That's still going to give us the same thing. So I know that the thing is here. Don't worry. I just know that the thing is here. So let me just power clip this. Okay, it's telling me an invalid mistake. Okay, so I'm guessing the reason why it might be telling me it's invalid is because of my drop shadow. So I will need to remove my drop shadow before I power clip. So just click on alternate D, clear shadow. If you want to add your shadow, this is where to come. You just come to, you see shadow here and other tools. So let's go back, power clip, let's put it here. I will now put this. Okay, yeah, I've power clipped this. Then now I'm going to add my drop shadow. But before I put that drop shadow, let me come and power clip this guy. I'm not supposed to power clip this. Uh, Let me power clip this. Yes, I believe. But let me just be sure. I'm gonna click it outside. My pattern should be here. Where is it? See it? It was here. Oh, it is here. Okay. Right. I believe this pattern should be visible, but it's not looking very visible as it should. So let me just check on my control. I think. Okay. So let's just reduce this pattern a little bit. I want to reduce it a little bit. I think this is okay. 95 is okay. Yeah. Okay. I'm not in the job shadow. Okay. So let's just use the job shadow. Control D. Take it up. I'm going to take it up a bit. Yeah. Just take it up here. Yeah. Just increasing this. So I'm done. So yeah, we are done with the design. And so the thing I just did here for this other part was to just invert the colors, right? Just inverted the colors. So the white was the blue, and then whichever place here that was blue. So that's just so that I just inverted the colors, no too much. So it's the same thing. Anything you see here that was white, I converted it to blue. Anything you see that was blue, I converted it to white. So that was just what I did, apart from the SMEs and all that. Yeah, so that's just what I did. All right, so exporting. This is what I do. So you just select it. First and foremost, when you are done with everything, make sure that everything is all together. Like you don't need to power clip everything inside. You can power clip everything, but the major things that actually needs power clipping, I've done that. So these ones that are actually outside, you don't need to power clip because I'm still going to group them, right? So I will just select everything and press G or general shortcut Control G. So I've grouped it and then I will export. So export is Control E, that's general shortcut. And you take it to wherever you want to export it to. It's a very easy thing. So just gonna export it. Just take it here. So you name the flyer you want to give it. So export it. Go to downloads. Go to downloads. And then you just give it the name. Just give it to 40 business masterclass. So I use acronyms. Yeah, so I know this is intensive what business masterclass. So I'll just do IBM. Designers, you guys know, don't used to waste so much time. So just do that, and it will show. So you don't need to change anything here. This is like your export. So make sure it's in RGB because we're doing this for digital, for web view, right? We're not printing it. So RGB 24 bits. You can reduce this to 72 percent, but if your design is not really that heavy, just leave it at 300. As you can see, I didn't really use images per se. I didn't really use heavy these things in the design. So that is why it's showing me 809 kilobytes, right? And also done that. So basically, we have come to the end of this tutorial. Sorry, this is a very long one. My apologies that my laptop actually went off along the way. Next time, that's not going to happen again. If you enjoyed this tutorial, this is actually like first CorelDraw poster breakdown edition. Let me know what you think about this in the comment section below. And do well to hit that subscribe button, like the video, also share it to a fellow creative designer too. All right, guys, thank you so much for your time and see you next Saturday. Peace.